The customer now dictates what the focus will be as well as the approach to achieving those results. Now, so for instance, organizations solicit feedback from customers about the products and services, and everything that they learn from the feedback are of course used to improve the product or service. So mao na nga they term it as quality begins and end with customer, not with how you process the products or services. Now, it's always the consumer or the customer who has the say, no? So, pero lahi pud nang moing kag customers always right. Lahi na pud na nga concept. Now, let's stay with this. Okay? So, mo na siya. Okay? Customer, I mean, um, quality begins and ends with the customer. That is how a customer or consumer, how powerful they are. So, mauna nga you as managers or as business owners, you need to have enough strategies in order to outwit your consumers or your customers. Okay? So, in the question, what is quality management? In the past, usually the answers are more like management is something that is best left to the expert. So, throughout history of quality management, we were made to believe that this is the right answer when in fact it is not. This statement is avoiding the issue because it allows executives and managers to opt out. Quality is too important to leave to the so-called quality professionals. Now, sa una or way back, no, quality management, quality assurance are left in the hand of quality inspectors, sa pa na kanang mga kanang quality control management. Sumurag sila ang pinakahawd. Now, research shows that this type of practice is not actually delivering no total quality management. Naagihapoy bad returns of product kay mao na wa ning pasar sa taste sa consumer, wa giganahan ang consumer, no? So, it cannot be achieved on a company or organization-wide basis if it is left to the so-called experts only. Now, equally dangerous, however, are the uninformed who try to follow their natural instincts because they know what quality is when they see it. Sumo na ang mga mindset sa unang panahon. Only the quality controller, only the quality assurance team management knows quality when they see it, failing to understand that even the lowest rank in an organization could identify quality as it is. No? So usually, this belies a narrow product quality focus. Nganong narrow man? Tungod kay it's only the idea of the quality management office, the quality assurance, no? Ilaharang out or no, not output. Ilaharang mindset or ilaharang pagtuo nga quality na ni nga product ang gina-follow. So, hug siya nga narrow product quality focus and can only yield limited benefits. Now, this type of intuitive approach can lead to serious attitude problems. Nga naman, mugara na sila because pagtuon nila sila how they knows everything. No? which do no more than reflect the understanding and knowledge of quality that are present in an organization. That being said, TQM means involving the whole integral of an organization in decision making, and not just the quality assurance team, not just the quality control team. You know? So that is we are actually total quality management is actually breaking, no, breaking what is the myth, no nga only the expert knows what quality is. Okay. Employing more inspectors, tightening up standards, developing correction, repair and rework teams do not improve quality. Na naman. Because it's more like you are anticipating mistakes, no? In the whole process, even before the process ends. Traditionally, quality has been regarded as the responsibility of a quality assurance or control department, and still it has not yet been recognized in some organizations that many quality problems originate in the commercial, engineering, service, or even administrative areas in an organization. Some online na fail to look at or to give focus to by most um, organizations nowadays. Mo nang naagya po yung mga bad returns, naagya po yung mga products that are pulled out in the market tungod kay wa sa janing pasara sa taste sa mga consumers. No? Okay, Morbag, during the process, you are already production process or whatever it is, you're already anticipating mistakes, and it's more like a reactive, no, uh, mindset. So when we say total quality management, it should be different. Dili ka reactive, but proactive. Meaning to say, at the start, you are trying to eliminate mistakes. No? So, ing ana dapat if you are aiming for total quality management. Total quality management is far more than shifting the responsibility of detecting problems from the customer to the producer. Now, it requires a comprehensive approach that must first be recognized and then implemented if the rewards are to be realized. Today's business environment is such that managers must plan strategically. Now, strategy, it involves strategy to maintain a hold on market share. You cannot just say that I will do this, I will offer this, and then I will get hold a larger share in the market. So simple, no? If it is that simple, then every business would be thriving and nag-multiply na, 'di ba? In many companies, quality problems have been found to seriously erode margins due to the cost of rectifying defective work, both during the contract period and afterwards. As what I have said before, kung ang imong mindset is you are anticipating mistakes on the process palamandaan, then you are eroding margins due to the cost of rectifying defective work or defective products. Now, the approach of total quality management now is different now. So, you are trying to eradicate mistakes at the process, early on at the process. With that, of course, you are, of course, murag, instead nga mag-budget ka during your planning, mag-budget ka um, financial um, aid or unsay tawag anak kanang budget for kanang mga bad returns or mga daot or unsa pa na diha sa product. So if you are planning to have or eradicate those mistakes or eradicate tong mga sayop during the process. So, wa kay angay bayran. Diba? Wa kay angay nga budgetan. So, mao na ang gusto sa total quality management nga mindset. Okay? TQM is an approach to improving the competitiveness, effectiveness, and flexibility of the whole organization. TQM is essentially a way of planning, organizing, and understanding each activity and depends on each individual at each level for an organization to be truly effective. Each part of it must work properly together towards the same goals, recognizing that each person and each activity affects and in turn is affected by others. Remember the domino effect that we have discussed? Oh, ingana na siya. No? So, dapat you have a plan. No? You need to properly organize and you also need to understand each of activity, department, component, or whatever it is that exists in your organization. PQM is also a way of ridding people's lives of wasted efforts by bringing everyone into the process of improvement so that results are achieved in less time. Now remember how I emphasize on save time and cost, no? In order to gain profit. The methods of techniques used in TQM can be applied throughout any organization. They are equally useful in manufacturing, public service, healthcare, education, and hospitality industry. It does not only works on manufacturing alone. No? Basta yung mindset na para raman ang TQM kay para raman as production process kay eliminate maka sa waste. No. It can be useful in any other kanang firms or industries. Uy, ano naman mag-July. Okay. The approach must focus on developing a problem prevention mentality, but it is easy to underestimate the effort that is required to change attitudes and approach. Now, the statement change is a painful process is really true and is applicable in all aspects, not even in an organization. Now, the impact of TQM on an organization is first to ensure that the management adopts a strategic overview of quality. Now, in the past, quality management is reactive. But now, research proves that organizations who employ proactive quality management do better in terms of cost reduction. Now, by development of problem prevention mentality, now, problem prevention meaning to say at the start, problems are prevented. Many people will need to undergo a complete change of mindset, and this is the hard part, no? Especially if your organizations is 80% makakaraan na bitaw. So, lisod ang pag-implement og change. So, mo na siya. But, of course, if you have a plan, kay bawo na po ka how to induce change in a less painful process or painful way for your organization. So naman ta. More often than not, it is a usual practice that first worker relies on the first inspector and then the next worker relies on the second inspector and so on, but no one is taking responsibility. So inga na ang kanang practice sa una. One worker will rely on the first inspector and another worker relies on the second inspector. So what will happen? Different inspector have different perspectives. but no one is taking responsibility on it. So, na siya. A better mindset may be achieved by looking at the sort of barriers that exist in key areas of implementation to achieve quality management. One way is, usa sa mga barrier identified is your staff, no? Katong akong giingon nga change is a painful process, no? For the workforce, especially if they are so used to a particular practice. Now, of course, one way is to train them. Now, staff may need to be trained and shown how to reallocate their time and energy to studying their processes in teams, searching for causes of problems, and correcting the causes, not the same symptoms, not the symptoms. Ang ato ra ba dyan sa no, usahay kay we try to correct or we try to solve the symptoms instead of looking or digging at the core problem or the core causes. Sumana nga ang relief is only temporary. Para gud punas gilabdan kag kay gihyper ka. So you're trying to drink something or a medicine that would cure sa labad sa imong ulo. But since the real problem is, ang nakakos sa labad sa imong ulo is ang imong hyperacidity, so temporary ra ang relief sa tambal sa imong ulo. Mawala sa kataod-taod din. And then, og mukuan na pod, mawala na ang effect sa tambal, magsakit na pod ang imong ulo. So, if we are going to put that in a business environment or in an organization, so kung ang imong tambalan ra or ang imo rang i-rectify is the symptoms, not the cause, magbalik-balik ra na siya. Same problem, no? This often requires of management a positive thrusting initiative to promote the right first-time approach to work situations. Through quality or process performance improvement teams, these actions will reduce the inspection rejection syndrome in due course. If things are done correctly the first time around, the usual problems that create the need for inspection for failure should disappear. True or false? Diba? Kung makahibaw ka what is the core cause and you are correcting them for the first time around, so ang usual ni mga problems na na-create ana nga root cause would of course be eliminated. Diba? So wait, I have to drink water pa. Okay, so okay na ta sa atong recap. Now, let's continue. Ano si mag-ingani man? Okay, so the management of many firms may think that their scale of operation is not sufficiently large, that their resources are too slim, or that the need for action is not important enough to justify implementing total quality management. But before arriving at such conclusion, however, they should examine their existing performance by asking the following questions. And if satisfactory answers can be given to most of these questions, an organization can be reassured that it is already well on the way to using adequate quality management. Now, these questions are standardized. Now, you can create your own question, based on organizations that you are in. No? So the first question is any attempt made to assess the costs arising from errors, defects, waste, customer complaints, loss, lost sales, and among others. Now, first off, you need to understand, if the costs that are arising from errors, from all this, defects, waste, customer complaints, lost sales, and among others, is quite material, or are these costs minimal or insignificant? Kay kung minimal ra, immaterial siya, or not actually significant, well, okay ra, no? We're not perfect, ha? We can actually cannot eliminate waste, no, defects or error, but at least you can man trim down, or meaning to say kanang magamayan, but to the point that the cost is immaterial, meaning to say wa si jay dakong effect sa organization. Murag kung maka-incur man gani kaan ang cost, no, murag wa si jay di si ja maka-impact sa cash flow, especially on the profit of the organization. So, usa na sa imong tan-awon, no? Second is, are the organization's quality systems, documentation, procedures, operation, and among others in good order? Now, why do you need to keep records and quality systems, by the way? Just like risk management, this is important, no? It is important to maintain records in an orderly manner for future reference. Say, for example, karon, naana mo record ay this kind of problem has existed over the past years. And because you have records of it, nakahibaw ka giunsa nila pag-solve ang problem before, no? That will, you can use, no, those information as your benchmark in crafting or creating your own strategy on how to solve particular problems. So, man is ang importance of the documentation. Third, sorry, do have personnel, hala din mo ka maumbasa gutom na mong go. Have personnel been trained in how to prevent errors and quality problems? Na usapod ni a major, no, thing to consider, no, do they anticipate and correct potential causes of problems, or do they find and reject? Now, this is very important, no? Kay, no matter how wonderfully crafted are the process, but if the personnel lacked the skills required, then it is a waste of resources. So, pangutan-a ang imong organization. Are the personnel being trained on how to prevent errors and quality problems? If, again, the answer is satisfactory, well, you're good to go. But if not, so then you have to rethink and replan. Number 4, what is being done to motivate and train employees to do work right the first time? Aside from it's your obligation, no, as a company to make sure personnel are equipped with advanced skills, it is also your task to keep them motivated. Imo laging get trained, but you're not motivating them to work or to do the right work at the first time. So dapat, aside from equipping them with skills, you also need to motivate them. Okay? Next, are subcontract suppliers being selected on the basis of the quality of their people and services as well as price? Now, this is very self-explanatory. Why would you subcontract suppliers that are of not really good quality products and the services also with higher price. Mita juga. Although yung ka nga, ma'am, may high quality with low price. Oh, I know that already. No, what I mean is the price that constitute the quality. No, okay. Another is the job instructions contain the necessary quality elements. Are they kept up to date?